Andrew Jack will be Mr. Olympia if
I
Andrew Jack at the world famous Binous Gym, a gym that you have had a part in playing to make world famous. You were just telling me the story a little while ago. This gym was basically, you know, brought on the map. You, and Larry Wheels, right? And it's funny because when people think about Larry, think about you, they think back to 2.5 years ago and seeing you on Larry's videos, and then. Like who's this guy with the crazy physique? And then lo and behold, here we are, just a couple of years later, you placing 5th at the Olympia, 3rd just a few months ago at the Arnold Classic.
Yeah.
What a journey it's been for you.
Yeah, back-to-back Texas Pro win.
Yeah.
But the Arnold Classic UK also, you shouldn't don't forget that. On my rookie debut.
So let's get into the story, because you know, I was talking to Chris Aceto, obviously your coach, and I just asked him, like, what's Andrew like? Like, what is he like off the stage as a person? And you know what his answer was? His answer was,
what?
I have no idea. Like, I know nothing about other than our interactions as far as, you know, the diet and you know, prepping you for a show. And I feel like there's been air of mystery around you. Obviously, bodybuilding fans have seen you break out, become really one of the biggest breakout stars. Yeah. But let's take it back from the beginning. You've been in Dubai now for the better part of a decade now, right?
Yeah, I think almost, yeah. I think 8 years now, yeah.
Originally from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Now, so correct me if I've heard correctly or incorrectly. I've heard.
Yeah.
Okay, so you played professionally another sport as well, right?
Yeah, professionally, no. No, I think bodybuilding is the only sport I decided to go professional in.
You played, was it soccer or rugby at a high level?
I did all kinds of sport. I did every kind of sport, like growing up as a kid and stuff like that, you know. I did all kinds of sport.
What was your favorite sport growing up?
I just love, you know, like the movement and the motion. So I love all sports, especially soccer. Yeah. Especially CrossFit, karate, kickboxing. Yeah. So.
You know, I was gonna get to that eventually. Like, you know, aside from your meteoric rise in the sport, and I think people associate you with these jaw-dropping routines, your flexibility, your mobility, your ability to do splits on stage and really put on a show. Where does that come from? Is that something where did you also have a gymnast background as well, or are you just again just your sheer athleticism, stretching, mobility, and?
No, I never went to school to practice and to learn. I only went to school to study what I'm doing, electrical engineering.
Yes.
You know, like so, but I didn't go to like a special school to learn how to do some kind of sport or whatever. No, it was all just see and practice, or watch and practice, or copy and practice.
So you are an electrical engineer by trade, or is that just what you used to do?
By profession.
By profession. So right now you are an electrical engineer here in Dubai.
I'm an electrical engineer. Yeah, that's my major source of income.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell us more about that. So like, what exactly does that entail? What do you do specifically?
Like before it was more of a full time, and then like doing some part time of fitness. But when I switched to bodybuilding, you can mix them together. So I wanted to see how I fare on this other side, because I know how I will fare on this other side, because there's still life after the bodybuilding sport. That's forever. It's got nothing to do with your health or whatever. That's work. So, like I said to myself, okay, for now I'll just put a break on this. I'll only take like contract jobs, so that I can have time to handle bodybuilding, you know, like schedule.
I'm just curious though, like when we talk about electrical engineering, like what exactly did you do? Like, did you like build circuits? You know, work for
Electrical
a company?
electronics I did, yeah. Electrical electronics, yeah. But I'm more into the designing parts, and power. Yeah, design
like
power.
appliances or home electronics. This is really cool, by the way. I think a lot of people are.
Yeah, and everything like Hamia track will be universal.
Yeah.
So I do electrical like circuiting for buildings, electronics like maintenance and repairs, software upgrades and you name it. You know, so yeah, it's whatever comes that would take.
You've been here for the better part of a decade. What brought you to Dubai? Was it career opportunities, change of lifestyle? What brought you out here, and what's it been like being here for the last year and seeing bodybuilding and everything develop here?
The thing is, as a man, when you're growing up, you have to leave your father's house like at a point. So living there, going someplace else to go do some things. I was faring well and doing well, but I wanted more.
Yeah.
That was when I now fully came here and started to do good recently, which is good.
Before you got into being a bodybuilder, as in a physique competitor, at a certain point, and again, we referenced Larry Wheels' videos.
Oh, always Larry Wheels.
Like that was a discovery. What got you into, powerlifting, or to the point where you were taking lifting seriously to the point where eventually you connected with the likes of a Larry Wheels?
I would say it's grace. Yeah, it's grace and it's favor from God, because it's not what I planned or something. Yeah, I was just at the parking lot and he was just there. He just parked his car. He wanted to go walk into the gym. I was heading up to my car, and guys see a guy and we look like the eye pop and like, what's up, abnormalities, how you doing, this and that. Okay, go. I had no idea who he was.
Really?
No idea, because I wasn't even on socials. Yeah, I wasn't even on any social, so I had no idea who he was. So we just talked and like, he's like, you come out here to train. I'm like, yeah, like I train, but I like to train like solo, but if you need someone to train with you, okay, no problem, cool. That was it. So after then, I think we exchanged our numbers, and he gave me a call the next day, and I came over and started to train. So while we've been training together for like, I think for about almost for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So he was posting on Instagram, but he didn't know what my name was or what my act was. You know? So he was like posting, but he couldn't find me. So he's checking, he's saying Andrew, but it's not me. So I think he was like curious and asked me, bro, I'm trying to tag you or something. Right. And I told him, I'm not on media. He's like, no. I told him I'm not. I don't have anything. Like, he's like, you don't even have. I told him nothing. Like, And that was when he's like, no, we'll get you an Instagram today. So he got me an Instagram that same day. We were trying to get a name, and I think his assistant said, Sheriff, he said, he's jacked already, yeah? And his name is Andrew. Just put him Andrew Jacked. And that was it. And we'll put it there. And
so there's the genesis behind the name Andrew Jacked.
That was it.
So it's as simple as that. That's incredible. So, you go from now training with Larry Wheels, and then at a certain point, was it your idea? Somebody else suggested the idea that, all right, you're going to go from powerlifting or making crazy content, with Larry Wheels, to now you're going to pose in posing trunks on a stage in front of a live audience. Whose idea was it? What inspired you to eventually then go into bodybuilding?
I would say it's just a decision making. Yeah, because I got a positive like feedback from Larry even first of all, because he even asked me if I was interested in competing or whether I was even on PEDs, and I told him I'm not even on. When I started with Larry, I wasn't even on PEDs, And I told him, I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. So I think after 1 year, 2 years went by, and then positive feedback from people. And I said to myself, okay, I'll give it a shot, and yeah, the rest is history. So, but I remember the first time I put on the opposing trunks. First I was naked. I felt I was like naked. I wasn't comfortable at all. But then with time I started. I said to myself, this is something that if you choose to do it, you have to go all in. So I'm like, okay.
Because you come off as a very reserved individual. I mean, obviously, again, when I ask Chris Aceto something about you and he has no idea, that tells me everything I need to know in terms of, you live a more, what got you over the hump where you go from being a reserved individual to now, again, going up obviously in front of the Arnold Classic, Arnold UK, Texas Pro, Olympia, some of the biggest crowds in the world when it comes to bodybuilding, and being very comfortable doing what you do, but then putting on the show that you do on stage?
I would say, like, so many times I even try to reflect back and see how things have been so far, how I've come along so far, and I would say, I don't even know the driving force behind all that. I would say it's just grace, Yeah, I would say it's just grace, because I think something leads me and then I just follow. Yeah, I can't trace the footpath backwards. So
you mentioned the word grace quite a few times. Do you consider yourself, religious by nature in terms of?
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
So you feel there's a plan for?
Yeah, there's a plan for everything else, because there's something I know of. Yeah, if when your time comes, or when the heavens decide to bless you, it comes in something like it's a mystery.
Yeah.
It comes from someone you don't even know. So, I mean, I had friends, I had people whom I wanted to do things with, but got a lot of disappointments. Some even blocked me, switched off their phones and whatever. And this person, just on the parking lot.
Right.
Now, imagine if maybe I was a little bit had this egoistic behavior. Maybe I had this pride, and when he said hi, I'm like, oh, yeah, you, and I walked away.
Right.
I have automatically missed my blessing.
Yes.
And that would have gone to someone else.
Yes. But it was meant to be.
Yeah, but because I would say the dots connected at the right time when it was supposed to connect. So, I mean, it just takes just a second.
And another, I guess, if you want to call it something you were destined for, was to cross paths with Chris Aceto, one of the most accomplished, dietitians, prep coaches. How did that relationship come about, and at what point did you have a conversation with Chris and you were like, all right, this is the guy to help me get over the top?
Now, the thing about me is, I believe in something called teamwork. Yeah, I believe 2 heads are better than one, and more heads are better than, it gives a perfect result. So I like the yin-yang factor, Yeah, I don't believe in just one thing entirely. So even when I started with Flex as a trainer, and we even talked about who to bring on board. And he talked about bringing Chad Nichols and George Farah, and I'm like, well, I think George was a good option. So George came in, and they worked together. But Flex had health issues and whatever, so he couldn't. So but I needed people that can relate, that can work together, so that they can have a perfect, thing. Because I just switched to bodybuilding. I still have no idea about the training of bodybuilding, how it is. Because you see me training, and I still do my preferences, things I like, things I know of.
Right.
Not putting myself through those, those thorns, those headaches, those twists and turns.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I knew I needed to get my shit together. You know, so after the Olympia, I spoke to George. I told him, hey man, I'll go get myself a trainer so that I can learn more, because there are things I need to fix and I don't know how to like put that. I need someone to take me there.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, George had things like going on also, so I told him, okay, I'll be working with these people. And he's like, yeah. So I hit up, I was searching for who to train with. I got some people, but I don't want to like mention names, but at the end of the day, I chose
Psycho Lewis, yeah.
Yeah, and I told him, here is the thing. If I want to work with you, I need to find someone that you're comfortable to work with.
Yes.
You know, because I know you guys have egos and insecurities and whatever. I know the drill. I'm a man, so I know. I told him, I want someone that you're comfortable to work with.
Right.
And he's like, okay, that he's comfortable with Asido. So I told him, okay, bring him on board. And I spoke to Asido. He's like, yeah.
You know, one thing that Chris mentioned to me, which was
video. Yeah. So,
one thing Chris mentioned to me, which was pretty profound, is that bodybuilding just seems to make sense to you. He says that whatever he tells you, you seem to process it very easily. Again, you're still very new to being a bodybuilder. Does it ever surprise you how easily this has all come to you in terms of the diet, in terms of the regimen that it takes to be stage ready?
Yeah, I mean, I still struggle. It's still a problem, especially the food part, because I grew up with 3 meals, like max, like like that was like when I train fasted. I don't eat my first meal till past 1 o'clock, because me and Larry had a routine of 10:30, 11 o'clock. So my meal comes 1:30, my first meal.
Right.
You know, so, and I mean, like, I love to train. I'm stronger when I train like fasted, and you know, but in terms of growth, no. In terms of maintenance, yeah. But in terms of staying lean, yes. But growing, you cannot. So, and it's bodybuilding. I need to grow. So, I mean, it's still a struggle, even until now. Like, and also my stomach is so sensitive. Yeah, some things I tell him I can't eat, I can't have, and this and that. So he's making adjustments. But I don't know. But I think we'll crack the yoke. I think after this off season, because I had no off season, I had no break. So we couldn't know what to do and what not to. So I think going for this off season now will help me a lot.
Well, you know, obviously there is the diet plan that you followed up until now, and then there is. It's not even just in terms of how many times you have to eat, it's what you eat, right? I mean, the bodybuilding specific foods, is that something that you found as an easy adjustment, or did it take some work, you know, getting used to that diet?
That was hard work, but I mean, I said to myself, it's just like you're studying in school, you have to read before you can pass an examination. So reading is just the process of eating your diet. So I'm like, just do it, and 1, 2, 3 times I got used to the whole thing. So yeah, even now when I'm having rice, even I find it hard to put on sauce. The only sauce I can put in is like 0-calorie barbecue sauce or 0 sugar barbecue sauce. Yes. Yeah. That's the only thing. So now even it's becoming a lifestyle.
You've had a lot of success, obviously, very early on. Your bodybuilding career is still in its relative infancy. Let's go back to this stretch that has been for you. Obviously, 2 back-to-back Texas Pro titles, your Arnold UK title. But I want to go back to this past Arnold Classic, because to me, that truly was a watershed moment. It was a moment I felt as if you truly arrived, and that moment was prejudging. So there was a comparison between you, Samson Dauda, and Nick Walker, right?
Yeah.
So there was a part where Steve Weinberger shuffles you in the middle.
Yeah.
You hit a front double bicep, and I remember this. You start nodding to the crowd. The crowd was going up, and in that moment, I said to myself, first of all, at that point, I'm like, Andrew could win this show.
Yeah.
But then further, I'm like, okay, now you have cemented yourself in the elite class of bodybuilding. Did you feel the same way, that prejudging at the Arnold Classic?
Yeah, prejudging, of course, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, for the Arnold prep, I came there on a mission. I came there on a mission. I came there to prove people wrong. Came there to silence my doubters. I came there to impress a whole lot of people and let them know that something can happen in just a few weeks. You know, so yeah, training, prepping for that show was crazy. The first day I landed after a 16-hour flight,
right.
I only had 2 hours of break and I went to the gym. We trained for 26 days straight, no off days, back to back, 4 times.
Right.
Did my cardio, go train for morning time, train again evening time, did cardio at night time for 26 days straight. You know, I was on a mission, so the results spoke for itself actually. We didn't do the size game, we just did the condition and shredding game. And it worked out good. And prejudging was a tough one. I think no one knew who had it.
It was very razor close going into Saturday.
No one knew who had it, but I felt I had the prejudging. But when we went back and came back for the finals and I saw Samson and I saw Nick, I'm like, what did you guys do, bro? Like, because my team didn't want to gamble, you know, especially during the carving up phase. They didn't want to gamble because they're like working with me new, you know, so they might make a break. So they just decide to let's just stay how we are. So me staying how I was, and these guys up in the game, it gave them a bigger scale. So I mean, I'm a realist. I saw them, I told them, what did you guys do? Because I knew I lost already. So I'm like, what the hell you guys did? But I was happy, you know.
You and I remember you talked about this, I think you posted on your Instagram after this past Olympia. You seem happy with the progress that you made. There are a lot of, you know, Olympians, top IFBB pros, you know, their reaction after a show will have you believe that they felt like as if they should have done more or whatever. I feel like you kind of it's been refreshing to see that, you know, like, look, you realize you're 5th in the world right now. Let's talk about this past last few months, because Texas Pro battle between you and Hunter Labrada, and you know that show at that moment in time, your best versus Hunter Labrada's best. And I remember there was that comparison between you two, and Tyler Mannion put you guys through the ringer. And I feel as if that's really where, again, we talk about your athletic background and you know, everything you prepped, that really did shine through in that moment.
I'm a diesel engine. Like, I start weak and the more I go, the stronger I become. Even in training, it's the same thing. I start off weak, and when it's time to train, everyone is already dead. Goes into the same thing. The first 2 rounds, I'm like, I'm gone, but when you keep going, I'll be so relaxed, like, yeah, let's go. You know, so I think the endurance parts played a factor. And also because for me, I see it more like a fun battle, not like a heated battle.
Yes.
So I don't try to, you know, like put in the mental toughness of like you want to fight and kill this person. No.
Right.
I put it like, like I will outrace you and I know what I can. It's a mind game, you know. It's even on stage you will see me. I speak to them. I talk to them.
Yes,
you know, I have fun with them.
I've seen the playful interaction.
Yeah, I have fun with them. So I speak to them. So for me, it's just let's just have fun. You know, so that's where the thing is.
This past Olympia, again finishing 5th.
Yeah.
When you look back at what you brought, what did you like? What do you feel as if this is the area that you feel like you need to improve upon?
Honestly, I think you will be the second or third person I will tell this, but the Olympia performance was very poor from my side, which I know, and I spoke to the guys about that too. It was because I think the last few hours or the day before the show, we missed the mark. Something happened, you know. I don't know what it is, but something didn't go well. Something didn't go well. I felt it. I knew it. I felt it, but you know, I said to myself, "You're here. You can't do anything. You just have to don't let it get into your head."
Right.
else I would have been completely messed up. So I just didn't let it like get into my head. I just tried to use my advantages, you know, so, which is my symmetry. So that was what I just used. But in terms of the package, no, like clearly the Texas was better.
Right.
Yeah, and Texas even we missed the mark. In Texas, we missed the mark, which we sat down and we talked about it, and we know that we missed the mark. So imagine if we didn't miss the mark, it would have been something else. So, but we're still trying to think like again, it's nobody's fault, you know, because one, you can actually tell how the body will like respond in half an hour, in 1 hour, in 2 hours, in 3 hours. So it happened, but do I cry over it? No. Do I complain? No. The only thing I can do is just improvise, use something of my advantage, and just get the job done, you know.
What is your plan for this upcoming contest season? Do you, Chris, and Cycle Lewis have a show in mind?
Like I told them, for now, I just want to I'm not thinking about competition. I just want to give my body a good rest. So I'm just like, from now to end of December, I'm just totally focused on fixing my health, getting my detox in, IVs, PCT and everything, what have you. Get myself all ready for next year, and then we'll decide to pick a show. Because what I want to do is, I don't want to do just like in Texas, that pick something close to the Olympia.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of doing something in between so that I can have rest and the show, rest and the Olympia.
Right.
So in between is what I'm thinking about, but I'm not letting that get into my head now that I'm just relaxing, you know. So I think after from next year, then we'll think of that.
When you think about the improvements that you feel as if you need to make in order to take it to another level, what would they be? What in terms of body parts or just overall presentation?
Overall, the main thing, glutes, more hamstrings, more density in the back, and just overall touch of everywhere. Yeah, I'm 6'2", so it's filling up those frames. It's hard work.
You, Samson, Crizzo, some of these taller bodybuilders, and again in comparison to the likes of a Derek Lunsford, the reigning Mr. Olympia, Hadi Chuplan, last year's Mr. Olympia,
Nick Walker,
right?
Top
I mean,
3,
it's just, you know, just a few years ago between the Phil Heats of the world, Rami, you know, you're talking about guys that were generally Kai Green, 5'10", 5'8", totally different game. Now you have such variety in terms of physiques now at that upper level.
You know, I think it's just I'll call it evolution.
Yeah.
Call it evolution. Like before, it was more of, no, I think during the Dorian years and Ronnie, it was more of you know, a little bit tall and whatever. But then it went into a time of just apples and oranges. But I think now, me, Samson, and Crizzo coming in the spotlight, I think it changed the dynamic of the game, and especially in the Arnolds. In the Arnold was when everyone saw that yes, it's now two-sided. You know, the game is now like not just the whole 5'10", 5 whatever. Now you have this and this.
Yes.
So it's two-sided now. And I think the Arnold sparked that change in dynamic. Because one, even the fans also got interested in trying to see changes and see, you know, the difference. Because one, it's not just we're just tall, but we're tall in proportion. Even if we're not, we're still coming in there. You know, like to attain that our 100%. You know, but we still have everything it takes. We still have the proportion and whatever, so we're like balanced, you know. So, it's a good thing. Even the judges also are happy. But we just have more work to do.
You know, obviously you being Nigerian, and mentioned the likes of you, Samson Dauda, Blessing Awadibu, who was in last year's Olympia, and then there's another up-and-comer from Toronto, Quinton Oria.
Yeah.
It's been a sort of a renaissance for Nigerian bodybuilding, a golden era. So I'm curious to know, again, you being in the position you've been, what's the feedback, what's the reaction been like amongst Nigerian and African bodybuilding fans?
Oh, they're all happy. They're all happy that we're coming up where, like, we're coming in there. And it's not just that, but because we're also representing that, okay, we're actually from here.
Yeah.
And not saying we're from where we are, so it's just we identifying more of where we actually from.
Is that something that, would be in the works for someone like yourself, that to go back Nigeria, do some tours, help grow the sport in Nigeria?
It's a different thing there. Like, bodybuilding is not worshipped.
We know soccer is worshipped.
It's
in
not.
Nigeria,
Sometimes they see you doing bodybuilding and they think you're insane. But when they see you in the process of doing it, and they think you're insane or whatever, and they say some other thing. But when they now see the results you're getting from it, now they want to come to you. So.
Well, you've been in Dubai now for about a decade, and you've seen how bodybuilding has grown here. So many bodybuilders have, come to Dubai because they see Binous Gym, Oxygen Gym, obviously the new Oxygen Gym. Is Dubai becoming sort of a new mecca for bodybuilding?
I wouldn't say it's just Dubai. I would say the Arab world, because these guys are obsessed with bodybuilding. Even if they're not blessed with the genetics, but they're just obsessed with bodybuilding. They love the sport, but the sport doesn't love them. If you know what I mean? So but it then creates an avenue for more athletes to come in. Because it's easy. Number one, you count 10 gyms wherever you go, 9 of them are well sophisticated.
I'm curious. You just had the Dubai Pro about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
From my understanding, the next Dubai Pro is going to be in June.
Yeah.
You were talking about doing a show potentially closer to the Olympia. Is that something you'd consider doing?
I'm not doing anything here. No, like, this is my home. I don't shit where I eat. So I don't do anything. How I started.
Yeah.
I remember I did like 2 local shows here just to see how I felt on stage. And I mean, I came in there and I smoked everything, smoked everyone, so which created, of course, enemies and whatever. And also, you're not valued at your home. Yeah. Because they see you every day, they know you're from here, and they know you're from this background.
Yeah.
And they know things, they don't value you. But they rather value someone that's from maybe Europe or the USA who has nothing. They value them instead. So it's not the first time, it's not something that's been even when I started. So yeah, I said to myself, I wouldn't do any competition here, partaking in anything here now.
When you think back to the journey that has been for you, right? In the span of 2.5 years, you've gone from a viral sensation via Larry Wheels to getting your pro card to making the quantum leap to now being a top Olympian. When you sit back and think, again, you are a very realistic individual in terms of your thinking, in terms of your outlook. But at a certain point, you being a competitor that you are, you're not competing to, for 3rd place, 4th place trophies. At some point, you're saying to yourself, I want that Mr. Olympia title. Realistically, when you think about where you are right now, your physique, your presentation, what is it going to take for Andrew Jack to be in a place where he's going to be contending for the Mr. Olympia title?
You said, what will it take?
What will it take? Andrew Jack will be Mr. Olympia if
I get my shit together. It's on me. It's in my hands. The ball is in my court. It's just on me. If I get my shit together, of course it will happen. Yeah.
Well, Andrew, this has been very enlightening. I feel as if for our audience, there's so much that I think people didn't know about you, and I'm so glad that you were able to bring it out and really share a side of you that I think a lot of bodybuilding fans have been waiting to hear. They've seen your meteoric rise to becoming one of the best bodybuilders in the world, but to hear the story of Andrew Jack, I think this is really cool, and I'm so appreciative for you to take the time and do this with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.